In this video, we will talk about how to check if 3 points are collinear. So we say that 3 points are collinear if they all lie on the same line. So if you were to create a graph and you were to plot the 3 points, they would all lie on the same line. Now, points that are not collinear would be like this point, and this point. There's no line that you can draw to connect these three, so they would not be collinear. So to determine if points are collinear, there's a 3-step process that we can use right here. And I'm going to show 2 examples of how to use this process. So let's check out our first example. All right, let's say we have these 3 points right here. How can we check if they're collinear? Well, the first step is we need to find the slope between the first 2 points. So let's just focus on these 2 points right here. If we label these points x1 and y1, and we'll label these ones x2 and y2, we can figure out the slope between these 2 points by using the following equation. We'll say m is commonly used to represent slope. We'll say is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 we said is 6 and y1 is 3. So we get 6 minus 3 over x2 minus x1, so 2 minus 1. So let's see what we get. 6 minus 3 is 3, 2 minus 1 is 1, so 3 over 1, that's just 3. So the slope between these 2 points is 3. Step 2 says we need to find the equation of the line between the first 2 points. So remember, the equation of a line is written like this: y equals mx plus b. Well, we just found that m is equal to 3, so we can plug in a 3 right here, and then we can pick either one of these points and plug them in for x and y. So let's choose the first point. So let's plug in a 1 for x and a 3 for y. So if we do that, we get 3 is equal to, remember, m is 3, and x, we said we'll plug in a 1 plus b. So we're trying to figure out what b is. So we have 3 is equal to 3 times 1 is 3 plus b. If we subtract a 3, we get 0 is equal to b. So in other words, the equation of this line is equal to y equals 3x plus 0. And since we have a 0 here, we don't even have to include that. So we can say the equation of the line between these first 2 points is y is equal to 3x. Now the last step is check if the third point is on the same line. So the way that we do that is we plug in the x value and we plug in the y value into this equation we just found and see if it's a true statement. So we'll plug in a 3 for the x, so we'll say, and a 9 for the y. So we'll say 9 is equal to 3 times 3. So we get 9 is equal to 3 times 3 is 9. So this is a true statement. These two sides are equal, so we'll give it a check mark. So because this produced a true statement, it means that all 3 points are collinear, or in other words, they lie on the same line. So as our final answer, we'll write collinear. All right, let's try one more example. Let's say we have these 3 points and we want to know if they're collinear. Well, the first step is find the slope between the first 2 points. So again, we'll label this x1, y1. We'll label these points x2, y2. So we can calculate the slope m as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that would be 10 minus 5 over 3 minus 2. So let's see what we get. 10 minus 5 is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. So 5 over 1 is just 5. So the slope is 5. Step 2 says let's find the equation of the line between the first 2 points. So remember, that's y equals mx plus b. And we just found that m is equal to 5. So we can pick either one of these points to plug in the xy value. So let's pick the first point. Let's plug in a 2 for x and a 5 for y. So 5 is equal to, we said m is 5. 5 times the x value we're going to plug in as a 2 plus b. So we get 5 is equal to 10 plus b. If we subtract a 10 from each side, we get negative 5. So 5 minus 10 is negative 5 is equal to b. So our equation of the line is y is equal to, remember we said m is 5, so 5x, and we just found that b is negative 5 minus 5. So the last step is check if the third point is on the same line. So this point right here, we're going to plug in this 4 for x and 16 for y and see if we get a true statement. So we'll say 16 is equal to 5 times 4 minus 5. So we get 16 is equal to 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 5 is 15. So this is not a true statement. 16 is not equal to 15. So what this means is that the 3 points are not collinear.